We must rebuild the galaxy.
I am super excited for Rebuild the Galaxy. The sets are coming out for this, the special itself coming this fall, and also the fact that Lego goofiness is returning to the Star Wars line. The goofy style of Lego has been absent for a handful of years, and I've been sitting and thinking, is Lego not allowed to be Lego anymore when it comes to Star Wars? Many other themes are just blowing Star Wars out of the water. Monkey Kid and Dreams are just crazy. You have Ninjago Dragons Rising, which is just amazing. It seems like Marvel and DC have something reworking in the designing of sets. Something's happening there. Minecraft is making me want to play Minecraft again and then use Lego to build the adventures I had in the game. City having that space title return to their sets, which is bigger than what you might realize. Harry Potter's still going on. Lord of the Rings is rumored to be returning for annual sets. Dungeons and Dragons is making its debut in the CMF series. Creator Technic and Speed Champions still making sales, even though many people were saying, oh, I don't think those will stay for long. And yet here we are. And don't even get me started on Lego Disney sets. All of these themes are doing well, but Star Wars, the saving grace of Lego, is getting ridiculed by certain parts of the fan base so heavily. So much criticism, so much hypocrisy, so much negativity. It's just so sad to see how people are acting. As you can tell, I am not a negativity equals views type of person. It was a trend back then when I was still in middle school. I almost fell for it then, and it's coming back. I don't understand it. But sitting in front of a camera, scowling, and making your frustrations known about this certain topic, and you are going to really show them that caps lock button, and you frown and you are angry as you look at your numbers of your analytics, and you say to yourself, that's not high enough, no, so you get more angry and then you look again and be like, oh yeah, monies. Oh no, I'm smiling. Angry. Join my community of anger and frustration. They changed the age of Kiadi-Mundi. What a bunch of scallywags. But now Jedi Bob returns to show consequence for their actions. I truly believe that this is Lego strikes back against certain content creators and the Star Wars fandom because they're over the toxicity and they want to be able to be Lego again with the Star Wars universe like they used to be back at the beginning of the system Star Wars to around 2015. There were great builds, there were alright builds, there were sets that weren't 100% canonically accurate to certain scenes or in arcs, but they were goofy and they were funny, and it was Lego Star Wars, a parody of the Star Wars trademark. Did you know that Lego owned Lego Star Wars trademark and copyright? They used to always own that. This changed around 2020 when Disney had to acquire it from Lego, just like how they had to acquire a lot of Star Wars copyright, even though they owned Star Wars. This is why there are many Star Wars titles that have access to things in the trademark that they shouldn't have. This is why Lego is able to make a Darth Malak minifigure and Disney doesn't do jack squat about it. This is why EA, Electronic Arts, can use anyone and everyone in any form from the Star Wars universe in their mobile game Galaxy of Heroes. Many titles and companies are grandfathered into this clause that Disney and modern Lucasfilm, all of the old expanded universe is dead, or Legends, But to these, like Lego and EA, they are not. They are free game, as well as every new story and new form of stories from the past and all characters involved. Now, this clause does come with a price, especially with Lego. Now, what I just shared is legitimate, and to find the original announcement this information was contained in from, I believe it was 7 years ago, is going to be a big challenge. But if I can find it, I will include a video citation in this video on the screen. If I cannot find it, then there won't be one on the screen. But if you know what I'm talking about and have any reliable source that you want to put in the comment section below, feel free to do so. And if it is reliable and actually explains it, I'll put that as a pinned comment. However, when it comes to the part that I just said about it comes with a price, especially for Lego, that info is more accessible to the public. This is the Bing Copilot, which is a nice summary. Lego has the license to produce Star Wars sets, but there are still limitations. They have to pay licensing fees to Disney and Lucasfilm to maintain the rights for creating multiple sets and models every year. And Bing Pilot got this information from Screen Rant, which has a post by Kevin Erdman from earlier this year in February. It was February 17th, 2024. Which I will be doing a video about in the future. Now, the debate with that information, though, and I'm sure that post goes into more detail, is whether they pay for the entirety of Lego Star Wars, the theme, or do they have to pay for each individual set they release? Because if you've been noticing on some of the new sets from the past couple of years, there's been some sets that have multiple trademark after some certain words, some certain names on the box, and that's been very interesting. Either way, it's crazy, and I'm going to move on just because it should be talked about. But anyways, stepping off my soapbox, let's talk about the sets that we are getting so far for this special. 75389 will go down in history. The Dark Millenium Falcon. 1,579 pieces, 1,170 VIP points, $180, 6 minifigures, which are Darth Jar Jar, Dark Rey, Dark C-3PO, Light Vader, and Surfer Dude Skywalker. The build of this set is of the Millennium Falcon, but with a color palette of red, black, and gray. The set looks awesome, and there is some history to the set. It was back in 2022, I believe, that the set was rumored to be Dark Falcon. And the interesting thing about this is when the rumor of this set title came out of Dark Falcon, people were originally thinking, is this some sort of Marvel or DC type of thing? And then some information came out saying, no, this is for the Star Wars line. We were just like, I'm sorry, what now? And so then we would get some more information in early 23 about some of the minifigures. A white Vader, like a redeemed Vader, Dark Rey, Dark C-3PO, Dark Chewbacca, an unknown Gungan, and then 2 other minifigures. The original thought of all of this was going to be maybe there's a Star Wars Infinity series coming out, which would have been a anthological Star Wars What If series. And it's not uncommon. There was a comic series, an old thing, I believe, by Dark Horse, I think, called Star Wars Infinities. So having a series called Star Wars Infinities, which is just a bunch of what ifs, would have been really cool. My thought on the particular story that this would have been from would have been along the lines of an episode in Once Upon a Time where the characters meet the author and the villains have him rewrite the story, giving them the happy ending. So there was the evil Snow White and her evil council of 7 dwarves, and the other, originally they were heroes, but in this they're now all evil villains. And then Regina, who was the evil queen, she's now the princess. And Rumpelstiltskin is a brave knight rather than being the dark one. I thought this story would be a what if the Sith won against the Jedi. And so now we're in the Clone Wars, and the Clone Wars would have been the Sith Order, the Sith Temple on Coruscant, and the Republic. And really the landscape of the galaxy wouldn't be any different. It would have been the Jedi that have been extinct for over a millennia. So that means the Jedi that we know, like Yoda, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, they're no longer the Jedi Council, they're the Dark Council, they're the Sith, all that kind of stuff. And Palpatine is actually a Jedi in hiding. The Rule of Two would have been created by a Jedi Master codenamed Bane, and it would be that the time for us to have an order is no more. We can no longer afford to try to grow our numbers with the Sith in control of the galaxy. We must wait as time passes for there to only be one master left and one apprentice. When the master dies, becomes one with the Force, or even falls to the dark, the apprentice is to become the master, and they must seek out a new Padawan. Later in time, a Jedi Master named Plagueis explains to his apprentice that Bane's Rule of Two may have an end to it, and that he may be the last single master of this rule, for he has seen a vision of the Chosen One, and you, my apprentice, codenamed Sidious, will be their master, and then maybe become the Grand Master of a new Jedi era. At some point, Plagueis would become one with the Force, and Sidious now understands what to do. He would eventually find an infant on Dathomir named Maul, raises Maul as his apprentice, but Maul eventually gets killed. But word of a boy named Anakin Skywalker comes about. I'm sure y'all can go ahead and probably figure out the rest. This is all what's happening here though, and that's awesome. I'm perfectly fine with that because I'm still all in for this special Rebuild the Galaxy. Makes me feel like the Rebuild the Galaxy is like what would have happened if Heroes of Spider-Man No Way Home failed, and all of the universes merging rewrites a bunch of stuff, and now Doctor Strange, or Jedi Bob, must fix it. Moving on through, the pictures for this set look amazing, and I am definitely getting one of these. I'm probably gonna try to get more than one of these over time. This will also be my first Millennium Falcon. What about you? First Millennium Falcon? No. For a lot of people, it seems like this will be their first Millennium Falcon, which is very interesting and very, very exciting. 75393, what I like to call the content creator confusion. TIE Fighter and X-Wing mashup, 1,063 pieces, 715 VIP points, $110, 5 minifigures. Rebel Pilot, TIE Pilot, Yessi Scala with a gaffy stick. Smitty, you have to let me know if I pronounce that right. There is a backstory to that, and it involves Star Wars RPG, tabletop game by Fantasy Flight Games, Edge of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, Force and Destiny combined all three. I made a Knights of the Old Republic campaign. Yeah, that was a mouthful, but it's an inside thing. Smitty will have to explain that if he wanted to, or there'll be another video, who knows. Sig Greebling, and then L3G0, or Lego, an astromech droid. Pretty cool, not gonna lie. You know, kudos to Lego on that. It will never cease to amaze me how confused this set made people. That's cool. I don't get it at all. Didn't we just have an X-Wing set and a TIE Fighter set? What's this from? This looks ugly. Why would anybody put X-Wing wings on a TIE Fighter? Those are legitimate comments that I have read multiple times on different social media accounts. And again, I just won't understand why people are confused by it. It's Lego goofiness. But also there's more to that. If you love Lego, you're gonna love the set. If you also love Star Wars Legends, you're also gonna love this set.
Why is Rex so worried? What does he know that I don't?
Old legends. Stories told to us as younglings in the temple.
There's always a bit of truth in legends.
Because in Legends, there are absolutely an entire class of mashup ships called Uglies.
Ugly? You gotta be kidding me.
You have the TIE Wing, you have the Y-TIE, you have the X-TIE Fighter, the X-Scepter, the Z-Scepter, the Corellian B-Wing, the Twi'lek Turdaki, the Invid's Clutch, which was basically a droid tri-fighter and a TIE fighter combined, and so much more. Han Solo even said, "I hate uglies," in one of the novels. It's a quote from him, and it's amazing. I'm just glad that uglies are getting the recognition they deserve. Whether that recognition deserves to be thrown into a fire pit and burned alive, tortured tremendously until it's ash, you know, that's for you just to decide. 75388, to truly make Lego Star Wars great again.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Jedi Bob's Starfighter, 305 pieces, 260 VIP points, $40, 3 minifigures, $40, $40. You have Jedi Bob, Akbar Trooper, and Servo, or SRVO, a gonk droid. Pretty cool. The Starfighter is modeled off of the classic Clone Wars Delta class style. Very big fan of that, and I think this will be the next Jedi Starfighter that'll be as popular as Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter in 2011. This looks awesome, and I want it now, but very soon. It's coming out very soon. Some people already have it. Some people have all these sets already, and it's just crazy. But anyways, I am very intrigued to see who decided in this story to clone a Mon Cala for an army. I want to know. I'm also convinced that we are going to see a moment in this where they're supposed to say it's a trap, but they won't. We will probably get the use of a different famous quote like, "I have the high ground," or "I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, irritating, gets everywhere," or "Roger, Roger," or even, I don't know why, but maybe,
"Apathy is death."
Apathy is death.
Apathy is death.
Apathy is death.
Apathy is death.
Statement: apathy is death.
Apathy is death.
Apathy is death. Apathy is death.
Apathy is
maybe,
death.
apathy is death. I do also want to clarify that these may not be the only sets that we get for this special. We may get more later this year or next year in 2025. Either way, I hope we do get more sets because this just looks awesome and this should be explored to its fullest capacity. Now, when it comes to the special itself, I have a lot that I want to know and a lot that I want to talk about, but not that much time for this video. So firstly, I want to know what causes all this to happen. What is making everything be rewritten? And is it Jar Jar's fault? Like, has Jar Jar been hanging out with Jedi Bob and hiding, and that's been where he's been? And did he mess with some sort of artifact that Jedi Bob said, do not touch, don't mess with? These are the questions that need answered. I think the thing that I'm most excited about is how much we are going to end up seeing in a new light. You know, the normal things of Star Wars aren't going to be the normal things of Star Wars in this special. X-Wing TIE Fighters, Ewok Bounty Hunters, Geonos and Jedi, Rebel AT-ATs, Darth Jar Jar, and hopefully so much more. Another thought I had is this. Will we see any appearances of characters from past Lego Star Wars specials? Rescue R2-D2, Padawan Menace, Empire Strikes Back, Yoda Chronicles, the new Yoda Chronicles, Freemaker Adventures. There's a lot of options within all of those. Can you imagine Maul's song from Empire Strikes Out coming back out? Can you imagine the crying kid from Padawan Menace? just sitting there, goes, ah,
And don't
whatever he
touch
did.
anything.
Jack 14, Roger. Oh, the stories Roger could tell. What if Roger is also a Jedi Bob and his 2 sidekicks? What if Jedi Bob has to form a group of Avengers and it's him, his 2 sidekicks, Roger, Jack 14, and Darth Maul? Or formerly Darth? Or is he still Darth? Or was he ever Darth? We must rebuild the galaxy. We must rebuild. I don't know if
We must rebuild the galaxy.
come on. You blink. My eyes. That's it.